How did you and Relax imagine this book at first?
The original vision was to do 8 books. Yeah, that was the one we settled on. And 4 we're going to cover the eras, and the next 4 we're going to cover the areas. And what were the areas, Wisk? Well, Pomona to the east, Sylmar to the north, Venice to the west, and Long Beach to the south.
It said that you had an idea for a different book and Relax had an idea for his own book, and then you combined the two and came up with the current book.
Yeah, but we settled on 8 books, 8 volumes, and volume 1 would be 83 to 88.
What was the most difficult part of putting this book together?
You had to first you had to create a timeline of those writers based on not only your experience, not only based on Relax's experience, but all the city's experience and them mentioning people. If you read like all the different people in these books, and you're just like, wow, the first page is Green and Dream at Pan Pacific. It's incredible. This is the first page right there, just letting you know like what's cracking in this book, you know. And it's just like Ease and Kids at Pan Pacific. Those guys are legendary writers. And then, you know, you had the introductions, you had the experiences, you had writer spotlights, you had pieces, you had black books, you had artsy bus killing, you had the Radiotron, you had different articles that we found in newspapers, rest in peace, and different acknowledgments. I mean, this is one hell of a book, and I'm very proud to be part of it.
What made you and Relax push through the hard work of completing it?
It needed to be done. And again, we're the custodians, so if it was a long day's work, so be it. If it was a lot of sacrifice to our families, we just had to do it.
How long did it take to complete the first volume?
I think Relax could answer that question better.
How did you choose which writers, photos, locations, and stories would be included and left out?
No one was to be left out. It was just that we could only fit so many people, and that's why it's this thick, you know? And, you know, there were some writers that didn't want to revisit their past. They didn't want to talk about those days. Some writers opened up the tombs and just allow us to take the pictures. Some writers shut the door on us to never be contacted again. I mean, you're talking about a lot of different personalities.
Were there any writers or events left out of the book that you wish you had included?
Only the ones that didn't want to be included. Yeah.
Was there any discussion as to which author's name would go in the book first?
No.
Who came up with the name of the book?
I think we both figured that it would settle on the history of Los Angeles graffiti art, which is pretty much exactly what it is.
Why is the book titled The History of Los Angeles Graffiti Art?
Because that's exactly what it is.
Why not just The History of Los Angeles Graffiti?
Because we understood that graffiti art was the last original art form of the 20th century.
Do you remember some of the other titles you considered for the book?
No.
Both you and Relax were there during LA Graffiti's beginning. What kind of access did this give you that professors and journalists don't get?
Credibility. Trustworthiness.
Have there been any writers who didn't like their depiction in the book?
If they did, I don't remember hearing their dissatisfaction.
Most copies of this book that were in LA libraries have been stolen, and copies online are on sale for $300 to $26,000. How many copies of this book exist?
2,500, and they were at $49.99.
Wow. Will more copies ever be published?
More will be revealed.